Hey everybody, welcome back. I don't know what I'm doing. No, just kidding. I always know what I'm doing. Following the Lord, and that's the most important part of everybody's day, hopefully. So, you have to love it when you come to a four-way stop and everybody sees a big truck and they just keep going. I have nothing better to do. But anyways, sometimes in life, things happen and you don't understand. Even with me, if you go back and watch some of the videos, sometimes I've even said I will put stuff in a certain way just and let it rest for a little bit, and basically just trying to see everybody's comments and see what everybody is going to reply and responds and that kind of stuff like that. Now, I'm not doing it to set anybody up. I'm not doing it to come against anybody, because that's by far not it. You can't. A guy asked me once when I was in management and stuff, and he asked me, "How do you train your guys?" When I get my own crews and start working myself up, how do I train somebody? And I said, well, what do you mean? He goes, exactly what I'm talking. I said, I'm not following you, man. He goes, well, say when I start training people, what do I look for? I said, well, here's how I do it. First of all, when a new season started, I'd always somehow get the rookies and get people that claimed to know what they were doing and so pumped up with themselves, so full of themselves, and you just go in your head going, okay, well, let them go. I would watch, as I'm doing work and I'm moving along with everybody, I would watch and see. Okay, I'm not going that way. I would watch and see what the people would do. That's how I learned what they were able to do and what they couldn't do. So that being said, you just, that's kind of what I do even on here. I'm just testing the spirits. I'm just testing, as anybody else, I say, put my word against, the Bible, other than, and even then you still can't. My testimonies on life and things like that, we go back to the earlier ones when people had a field day with it. I don't believe in this, no, this. Well, there's no this in hell. Okay, I know what I've seen. Have you been there? No. Well, then you're kind of coming against me on something you really don't know, but the Bible does speak of. That's what I'm saying. You get tested on that. Now, things like when I was little, riding a big wheel and picking up stuff out of trash, just taking radios apart, well, then you're just going to have to either believe or disbelieve whatever you want. I'm not here to puppet you around. I'm not here to control you. I'm here to just give you the basic on the table, and I believe a lot of you do respect that. I'm not here to go on and on about that. This is where I'm going with all this. There's always a method to it. There comes a time in life where you go, wow. And I've always said, if I always give you one wow, that's great. Even in a text message. If I give you two, it means I'm like, really? Just in case anybody ever wondered. Some people do. There's a wow moment that I sit back on and I go, incredible. Now, the girls in their early teens, and it might be both of them, I don't know. But I'm just saying, they're actually sisters. And the one I believe, again, I don't know if it's both or, but I believe it's just the one, is kind of being bullied, and I hate to say kind of, it's most likely bullies. Well, as I've explained before for another person, first of all, bullies are usually, they got it rough at home. The second part to that is they're usually not listened to a lot at home. They're usually kind of to themselves, or they're put down. Either way, you have to look at the whole concept of it all, okay? And some are just plain evil seeds. Believe it, whatever you want to believe, but I say go and read the Bible and you'll clearly see it. Clearly. We've been over the fact that when some people say, no, the demons have never, you can't possess a child. Yes, the Lord cast them out of our children. So you have to understand this is possible. Look what happened to me. It's possible. I know it's possible because it happened. So, the girl was in tears. Naturally, how would you not be? And they're at a store shopping. And the girl walks up to her mom. Now this is the part that just, it kind of makes you sit back and go, would we do this? I know I didn't ever think of this. I know my way of thinking of it was, nope, not today. Today's the day that whatever happens, happens. And I'm not saying that's the right way. What I'm about to tell you is probably the right way. When I say probably, because I hope good comes out of it and not bad. And if bad does come out of it, I hope that she still presses on and does good. She walks up, or she's going by it. I'm not really for sure, so I'm not quoting word. Don't quote me on word for word. But anyway, she comes up to her mom, and she asks her mom if she can buy this flower for the one girl that's probably the lead ringleader of the group. There's always one. They usually don't do it. They usually just run their mouths. The other one does all the action, like the hitting, pushing, and that kind of stuff. Because they're probably scared of this person and probably have no reason to be scared because this person is probably most likely a pushover themselves. Usually the case. Most times, that's the case. Other times, now they usually are probably pretty rotten in themselves. And I'm just putting it on the table. But can you imagine? Can you imagine right now if I walked up to you, and let's just say I'm one of them aggressive ones. I'm in your face, I'm pushing you back, and I got a group of people around me. No matter how many people you brought, I still have more people. I'd have 2 for every 1 person, let's just say that. You brought 10, I'd have 20. Plus myself, so there's 21. Eventually, people are going to go, I ain't bringing nobody. This guy's got way too many people. So, she's going to take this flower to this bully. Now, I'm telling you right now, if that don't bring a smile to your face, if that don't make you look at God and look at how we respond to things, people, I don't know what will. I'm telling you what, I thought about this most of the morning, and I'm sitting there going, I just got to do a video for it. I got to do a video just for if any kids are at home getting bullied, there's a way to stand up, and what she did is the way to stand up. Now, you're right, it could go southpaw. That person could throw the flower back at her, rip it out of there, could smash her over the head with it, pull the flower out and shove it in her face. I mean, I've seen some stupid stuff happen. But let's just go that route if it does happen. I'm hoping she just gets back up and smiles at him. Just smiles. A smile can change events, people, whether you realize it or not. You may be crying on the inside. You may be embarrassed. But I want you to think about this. How many times have you maybe fell out in public and you get up and people are laughing at you and you're really hurt. You're really embarrassed. You're hurt, and you're struggling to get up, and nobody really comes over to help you up. I got a feeling that young girl is going to grow up. She's going to be one of them people that will go over and ask somebody, "Do you need a hand up?" I really do. What an inspiration. I mean, honestly, it makes you really. I thought back about my days, and I'm going, what? Smack the girl in the face. Punch her one good hard time right in the nose. And I guarantee you, when them tears and that water starts swelling up, you're done. It takes a while to be able to clear yourself or to be able to learn to fight with your eyes and everything, with water and stuff like that. You ever go around smoke and get a bunch of smoke in your eye, or get something blown in your eye and it's irritating you, and you're focused on it. Now, I'm not saying that's the way to do it. I'm just saying would have been my reaction then. Today, I don't care what you do. Say whatever you want. I've been pushed. I remember back in the day, people would put your finger. If they touched you, that was it. It was a reason to fight. Even that never really gave me a reason to fight. I didn't fight just to fight. It took a lot. And there was days that people were just in the wrong place at the wrong time, and it was chaos. But think about this young lady. Think about at her age, which I think she's 13, 14. I'm telling you right now, if that's the way to stand up to a bully, I don't know any other way that trumps that. Seriously. I don't find it being a coward. I don't find it buying this. I find this as incredible. What an incredible testimony. Even though she's in tears, but she's facing the devil itself. She's already learning at a young age. I'm not going to let the devil go. So now when all you come against me about the devils, I'm going to be like, I'm going to refer you back to this 13-year-old girl. Because I'll tell you what, if I could clap right now, I would. If I could stand up right now for this young girl, I would. I so will. An inspiration, really. Okay, that being said, she is really an inspiration. Okay, I just had to do it. But anyways, it just, the talk about Jesus is talk about people. Talk about how you see them. I just can't, it's just an incredible young lady that's going to have a heck of a bright future as long as we're here. If she keeps that humbleness, it's okay to cry, it's okay to let it out, it's okay to build that courage, because can you imagine how scared she probably is carrying that flower in there and beelining it straight to that girl and just thinking this could go in any direction. Now, if I hear anything on it, I'll update you. But again, I'm never going to tell people's names, people's business. I kind of am, but I'm not telling you anybody who it is. If they want to come on and share the outcome, that's fine. That would be awesome too. Because kind of like in a parent situation, and if a child ever stumbles across a video going, what's this guy talking about, bullies? Because that's what I'm putting in there. How to truly defeat a bully. That's what I'm going to call this. Plus a few other things that I'm getting ready to get into. But no matter what the outcome, she was willing to stand up to it. And that's the awesome part. But can you imagine this person coming across this video? See, now if it was me, I would go on there and comment, and then I would be like, hey kids, come here a minute. I want you to watch this video real quick. Yeah, you don't have to watch it all, but just watch until this part. Because the guy tends to talk an awful lot. Who knows? They might go sit there and go, yeah, this is interesting. God touches people in weird ways. Look, he uses me to do it, and this is like way out there. Like way out. You know that part in Star Wars where they're flying and they're going to land No, I think it was Empire Strikes Back. Scratch it. I believe it was Empire Strikes Back. Where they're flying and they're looking for a place to land so they can fix the Falcon. And that looks like a good place. He flies in it, and here it's not even a planet. It's an actual dinosaur-looking thing when they fly out of, like a worm-looking thing. I don't know. Now, wasn't probably one of George Lucas's better things, but it was realistic, so it was cool. I mean, I just love George Lucas's thoughts and ways that he put things together, in all of them, except when Disney started taking over. It got kind of, I mean, they kind of brought the books and everything into it, but that's enough about Star Wars. And so here we go. You know, we look at life and we go on our own sight sometimes. There was another person that asked, who are we talking about? That maybe they thought that I was talking about them. And like I said, well, good for you for asking. Good for you for testing the Spirit. Because they don't want nothing in their life that is that good. And once I left a little brief explanation why I'm saying what I'm saying. Because when you're reaching out in love and you're reaching out in correction because you feel bad for what's about to happen to someone, and then they're on there calling people devils because of the words that they're speaking, and they clearly say one thing and then try to reverse it into something else. Well, it's okay. If you want to follow that kind of stuff, then that's your free will. All I'm saying is, when you call people devils and then you delete their comments, well, I guess you're calling me a devil. Yesterday, from about 2009 on, and I can't even say that because after I got my divorce, it was on my birthday at that. Best birthday present I think I ever got. And I'm being nice about it. I started going back into church. Whole different topic, but either way. So you have to go somewhere about 2007, 2008, somewhere in there. Somebody always asks, when did you find Jesus? I didn't find Jesus. Jesus found me. True. You know, I've touched a little bit on heaven, going to heaven, but I'm getting ready to do this big pour out of going to heaven. Truly, even through the journey of it, what really made me grasp a hold of Jesus. And it changed me. One event. Not all the times rescue me out of it, because I really never changed. And the testimony itself speaks that. So, we have to be careful. You have to really understand the words. You have to listen sometimes. You have to go into a place and listen to the words and let the Lord speak. Some people just don't ever stop talking. But when I'm in a conversation, even if I'm cut off, I'll just stand there and be patient. If it ever comes back around, because what happens is this. If someone is cut off in the middle of a conversation, you start talking, and then it detours them away from there. Their train of thought could get lost, and then they're thinking about something else. I used to carry a little tablet with me in my pocket. I'd slide them in there, and I'd start making notes so I could go back and touch on things that people were saying. Then I just got to a point I just got so frustrated with it, I'm going, it's not even worth my time. And the Lord told me many times, let it go. There will come another time. Great. And at that time, when they come up to you and they come back to you, by the way, what was you saying on this particular event? The Lord said it'll come in another time. And that's pretty much what I say, something in that area. And I'm not trying to be hurtful, not trying to break their spirit, but in a way, you probably should be thinking to yourself going, man, I really wanted to hear that. Or maybe God wanted you to hear it. Maybe Jesus wanted you to hear it. Yes, everybody has a time. We all have great experiences with Christ, and I love being around Christians that are overexcited. So when I know they're overexcited, I usually try not to say a word. Even with sinners. When they come up and start asking, who is Jesus? Who is he? Glad you asked. He's my friend. That's all I say. He's your friend. This Jesus from the Bible. Oh, so you know him? Is he your friend? Awesome guy. No, I don't. Isn't he like dead in the spirit? No. He's alive. You see what I'm doing here? I'm allowing them to spin their wheels. I'm allowing them to have the conversation. I'm just presenting the answers. Quick, simple, because they're quick and simple. You start going, well, you know, back when I was in 3rd grade, you know, I found this little Bible down the road. I picked it up. I'm not making fun of anybody. I'm just saying sometimes I like doing these goofy little voices. And it's just who I am. If you want to change me, I will tell you this. Don't come at me and try to tell me, no, you shouldn't do this and this. I say go to prayer. Pray to Jesus, because he molds and sculpts me. He's the one that wired me. God made me from the beginning, and God left these things in me. If I'm asking him to change me and it's still in me, then you take it up with him. That being said, let me go on. So then you go into the area in life where you go, all right, where do I go next? Well, you never have to clean yourself up. You can go to Jesus just the way you are right now. You can accept him just the way you are right now. But I will tell you, after you accept him, you have to be willing to let him change you. What do you mean? Change me. He'll change you. He's going to mold you. He's going to take things out of your life, and you got to deny your flesh, because it may not be good for you. Drugs, alcohol, movies, music. Well, I'm not getting rid of my video games. Okay. Now you're holding on to flesh. Now you're saying that you know better than God. This is why I have problems with churches. Because they bring people in and they don't disciple. There's no discipleship. They may claim it. Well, we got Wednesday nights services. We got classes. You can go. No. It's basically a bunch of people talking, because we went to this Sunday school thing, and the guy was on. I don't even know if it was Revelation. I don't know what he was on. I think it was Revelation. The same thing. I mean, I'd be out a couple weeks, come in, and they're still talking about the same thing. Because too many people want to talk to prove that they follow Jesus. You're telling me events about yourself. That is not discipleship. Discipleship is somebody that doesn't even know any of this stuff. This stuff has no meaning to them. Take a fool's advice, I'm telling you. You overtalk somebody and you ramble on and on and on and on and on, or you pray a half hour over someone. I mean, sometimes the Spirit does take over. I mean, I've been in prayer for a bit sometimes, and it happens. But I'm saying some of these people, like the Pharisees, Jesus used to tell people, do as I say, not as they do. They would fast and they'd go out there with a sad face on, and then, well, who are you doing it for? You know, if you fast, first of all, hopefully you're doing it for the right reason. I heard a person the other day say on the phone, yeah, I'm fasting. Yeah, I'm doing it to lose some weight. Oh. Are you going to pray? Because fasting without prayer is useless. I hate to say it. If you have ever fasted and did not pray, useless. You might as well not even done it. What are you fasting for? What are good examples to fast? Good examples to fast. Someone that's sick. You're in need of an answer. I can go down the list. Your health. I've heard people say, well, if you don't pray with another person, your prayers are not going to be answered. No. If you're in sin or have a grudge against someone, your prayers won't be answered until you make it right. Well, how do we do that? We continue to seek Jesus. And anyways, have fun. So, every time I go to grab the cup, the phone moves, so I'm just can't focus on that drive, that's for sure. But anyways, you have to go in this area. So, through the Bible study, through the sermons that are getting ready to take place, there is going to be a discipleship class. And I think it's really needed. I honestly. I really do believe it's needed for the fact people need encouragement. Because we know what happens when you accept Jesus. The devil comes quicker because he doesn't want to lose that person. So, that being said, that's another branch of this next coming that is also going to be out there. It's time to wake up. The Lord, in prayer last night, the Lord was explaining a lot of stuff to me, and interesting. You know, it's always interesting sitting with Him and talking with Him and listening. And then, you know, He's not one of those. He's not a person that just wants to hear himself. He wants to listen to you too, and that means you guys. You right there. However my hand is, you. He wants you to have that relationship with Him. He wants you to have that relationship with His Father. They already know anyway, so we might as well talk to Him about it. You're having doubts about things in life? Who's a better person to go to? I recommend, if you still need like an earthly advice, then you go to that person that you know is not just going to tell you what you want to hear. You go to that person. Some people go to that person and then they get mad about it. Well, then go over there to the water and wash yourself in that, because you just want the watered down truth. You want someone that's going to tell you what you want to hear. So why don't you just save us all time and come up to me, tell me what you want me to tell you, and I won't even have to tell you. I'll just nod my head and tell you that's what you say. I'm not even going to agree to it. I'm just going to tell you if that's what you say, because it's not my opinion. Every time I drive by old cars and I look at them sitting there rusting, thinking, why don't you just get rid of them? I'll come with a trailer, I'll pick them up, and I'll take them home. And I'll sit out there, tear them all apart. These days I probably forget even how to put them back together. See what happens when I drive and you get to experience my daily routes and driving and the things I look at and see, like the clouds opening up. Great gloomy day, but always seems like that one little spot. I always say that's Jesus just opening up a nice little spot. yesterday, I woke up, which I thought I was, seriously, I thought I was waking up. And through this, listen to this now. I got up, put my boots on, walked out, and I'm walking. And all of a sudden, I see myself as a child, and I had a certain pair of shoes on that I loved. And I'm looking down, and my arms are short, my legs are short, and I see Georgie, and I'm walking along, and I'm not going to tell you all of it. I'm walking along, and the next thing you know, I'm older again. And Georgie's with me. Not as the stuffed animal like you see, as how I truly see him. I've watched this tower. Now, at first I thought it was one of the Twin Towers. And I'm going, impossible, because we blew them up. I know people are going to be upset with that, but I don't care. I've never changed my idea in what I've seen and what I've heard from an actual person that was in the second tower that actually survived. It proved it. Showed me his badge thing, what the thing they hang on them lantern thing, whatever they're called. Showed me all that, his ID thing and everything. Well, that's proof enough for me. And I looked at the dates and stuff on there. Yeah, that ranks right about the time when it happened. So, unless you just forged this thing, but the official government star thing on it, all this stuff that was stamped in this ID thing, I don't know. People are good at forging stuff, but I don't think really this guy would actually lie and actually cry and tear up and stuff and choke through it. That all years later now, this was when he told me the story about that. And that was just confirmation to me what I truly believe was enough proof for me. Besides, there is a video out there that actually does prove exactly what I talked about all the years. When that video came out, you'd be surprised how many people called me. Nelson, you need to watch this video. All them years you've been talking about this, watch this video. It's got the firefighter looking at his watch. It's got everything you said. I know, because it's true. But anyways, I seen this just like that. Bunch of glass windows, kind of like a square building. What I could gather, what I could see. On one side of it, there were glass like broken out, so every so often flames coming out. Every level to like every other level in some spots. Just fire blazing out the side of this. I heard people in there screaming. And I'm walking with Jesus at this point. People in there screaming. They've locked us in. They've locked us in. We're trapped. We can't get out. And I asked the Lord, who are those people? Why are they locked in there? He said, those are the people that know too much. I said, so they're killing them off because they know too much. I said, well, what exactly takes place in there? He said, they're burning the evidence so nobody can find the truth. But all wickedness will be exposed starting in the coming of your new month, which is March. And I'm like, what do you mean, like the government? He said, all wickedness. Anybody that speaks with the tongue of prospering themselves or deceiving people or misleading people into doing things for their benefits, which is kind of under misleading, I would imagine, but I'm just telling you how he speaks with me. This is how I understand him, and this is how I learn from him. So now, we're walking along a little bit further, and at this point, I'm in this desert. No, I'm not even going to go there. I'm sorry, but I'm just going to kind of hold that for a little bit. But he did tell me there is destruction coming. He told me for the last 4 years, even into this year, once they start, nothing will stop. Floods, hurricanes, tornadoes, plagues, lack of food, control. They will make up diseases and they will inject them. He told me, I think it was in 2020? Nope, strike that. I think it was either 2017 or 2018, because this was before the COVID. He said, do not take no shots. None. Well, Darlene and I have been through some crazy places. We've been all over, and it's amazing. And I'm not saying, but I'm saying the majority of the people that got sick are people taking these shots. And they won't even admit it. Did you take a shot? Yes. Was you sick before? No. Did you get sick after? They don't want to hear it. Well, the government wouldn't do that. Oh, yeah, you're right. Our government is the best of the best. They don't lie. They don't make up stories. It's a happily ever after. And I tell you what, they are the biggest corruption. Really, Donald Trump, a lot of people come against him. He's had his moments. My thing is, he's the first president ever to come in here to truly tell us what's going on. Now, some people are calling him the Antichrist because he's holding up the triangles, Illuminati symbols and stuff. I've seen one thing where he actually kind of did a sign over his eye, which kind of puzzled me a little bit because that is Illuminati symbol. I'm not saying he's the Antichrist. All I know is the Antichrist will be appointed back into leadership. The Antichrist is supposed to come after we are risen up. Well, a lot of people don't believe in the rapture. A lot of people don't believe in pre, post. They don't believe in none of it. Well, there is a verse in there that clearly states he will raise us up out of here before the hour falls upon us. Basically, before the trials and all these things start happening. I don't know. All I know is 100% anybody starts predicting the day and hour of Christ's return, I'm done. I don't even want to hear no more about it. Because how do you follow something that someone says that and then they're going to backpedal out of it? When you clearly know that you know, well, then go pray for him. I'm praying for him. I pray for everybody. It doesn't matter what you've done. I'm still going to pray for you. There's no harm in praying for him. You may say, do you pray for the people that come and said that they wish the dog and you got upset? I wasn't upset. I'm telling you, people. I wasn't upset. I wasn't mad. I was kind of hurt by some of the stuff. Yes, that's a difference. It's an emotional difference. I can introduce you to a guy, and I wouldn't even tell him why I was bringing him on here. And I would let you ask him face up, how do you know when this man was upset? He'd flat out tell you. He would go from one way to the next way, and he used to say, man, Nelson, you would smile and then come right at you, right at someone. I get quiet when I get mad. Quiet. I have to, because I have to think. I have to let the vision of the movie play out before I react stupidly on something. Have I been knocked down? Yes. Have I been knocked out? Yes. Do I claim that I can go out here and whoop the world? No. Have I ever won a fight? No. I've been through all that with you. It's nonsense. You never win. Where we're at is thinking about today. Get through today. To get if tomorrow comes. The rapture to me is this. I wake up in the morning, thank Jesus for another day. I ask, what is my purpose of this day? Where do you need me in this day? Help me stay focused on you today, which leads up to my Father, and let me have some time today. If it's permitted, let me have some time today to have that relationship. Now, naturally, Jesus is going to give you the time because he wants you to have time with the Father also. But you see how I start stacking my day up under Jesus' day? Because he comes to shepherd us and lead us. The Father prepared this day. He knew this day was going to come, and he prepared it for us. We just got to go up and seek him. You can change events, people, in your life by seeking what your daily purpose is and where you're at in life. You may not believe it, but try it. I say, put everything to the test. Try it 30 days and see. Praying before you do anything. Pray before you go to the store. Pray the stuff you're buying is the right foods. Gotta love dispatch. Please accept. I accept my ticket home. Got that? So you gotta understand something here. When you go into life and you come around people, it's not our intention to ever break someone's spirit down. It's not our, hopefully not. You know, I got family members that will drive you crazy in seconds. I got family members who try to convince you it's your fault. And guess where they are in my life? In the backfield. I keep an eye on them, but they're in the backfield. Pray for them. Pray for unanswered. You ever thank God for an unanswered prayer? I do. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody else, but I'm just giving you the same way that I give you everything on here. I tell you, how many people really ever think back on some of these videos? Because I actually went back and watched a couple of them the other day. And I was like, some of the stuff I'm going, wow, I can't believe I actually said that. And some of it, I know it wasn't even me giving you the word. Because I don't remember ever saying any of that stuff. Usually after a video's done, I go back through my memory bank to make sure I hit every topic that I was thinking about. I didn't think about none of them topics because it wasn't what I had. So I know those are the times when the Lord is actually speaking through things. You gotta walk subtle sometimes. You gotta expect miracles because we're not looking for them anymore. When you stop looking for saying there's no miracles, you stop watching for them. I see miracles out here every day. Because I'm watching for them, looking for them. I want to see them. I want to see God's hand. I want to see what He's doing. I just spoke of a miracle this morning. To me, that's a miracle for a 13, 14-year-old girl to do what she's about to do. That's faith right there. No matter what happens, she has faith she's going to do something. She's going to change the event as we should be changing the events in our lives. Are you having a flesh life? Or are you having a God life? Well, are you holding on to stuff that your flesh likes, but God, it's not part of God, it's not part of Jesus? Only you can answer that. Are you holding grudges? Well, your bucket's starting to get kind of full there. I'm going to have to take that sand bucket away from you and give you a 10-gallon bucket now, because I'm about to fill it up real quick if you're saying yes. Do you look in the splinter in someone else's eye but don't look at the plank in yours? Do you gossip? Do you falsely accuse? Do you tell little white lies thinking, well, I don't want to offend somebody? Well, it's still a lie. And when they find out the truth, they're going to be hurt. It may be devastating. It maybe never trust you ever again because you lied to them. Sorry, I'm eating a piece of this protein bar that's half melted. But anyways, oh my gosh, now it's like stuck in my mouth like gooey mess. Yeah, that's nice. But anyways, have you sold something? You may say, no. Well, the other day I did. You may say, wow, Nelson, really? Yeah. And the lady even looked at me. When I said it, I said, this is a really nice pen. And they had a whole cup full of them. It had their business name on it. Well, wait. I said, I like this pen. I'm going to take it with me. I like this pen. I'm going to take it with me. It's their property. It's got their name on it. Now, most banks and places like that does it because they're in hope that you're going to lay it down. And then their business is going to get out there. But I still didn't ask. I still did not ask if I could take them. I needed a paper clip one day. There was one laying on a counter. And they hand you paperwork. Sometimes the paper clips on it. Guys will take it down. There's a little... Sometimes they'll just throw them on the counter. Well, I went in there and I was like, oh, man, I needed this. And I just picked it up. And I was thinking in my head, I was looking for a paper clip. I know I have one in this truck somewhere. And I picked it up and just stuck it on my book that I carry in with all the load information and stuff on it. Again, I didn't ask. Huh. Now, is that theft? Technically, I didn't ask. It wasn't my property. Well, there you go. Do I repent? Yes, because I want to make sure that if I did wrong, and I even asked him, Lord, if I did wrong on this, please. But if you know you're doing something inside of you and you're still doing it, and you shouldn't be doing it, that's a sin. Now I'm getting ready to do this video this weekend on sin. Get ready to sit back on this one. Because honestly, I think the visual part of it is you're going to get a lot out of just physically watching everything take place and how it's going to take place. I really think that's going to give you sight, because I'm one of the people that you ever hear people, well, I can only learn if I see it. No, in a way it's true, but technically, if you read something, and you've never watched it done, that's where we understand it more, because now it's in front of us. It's not just in a book. See, I was able to go in story time when we were in kindergarten, first grade. I never wanted the teacher to stop reading the book, because I was so wrapped up in visualizing everything that's going on. That's why we're a visual type of people. We have to see things. Once somebody shows you a few times, you might come home from your first day at work crying, I'm never going to be able to get this. Well, you're right. Geez, thanks a lot. What? I just said I'm never going to... Oh, you're right. Dad, what? Did you hear what I said? I'm never going to... I said I heard you the first 2 times. As I'm standing there cooking. Really, Dad? What? Why are you so mad at me right now? Dad, I am mad at you right now. You won't listen to me. Okay. Please tell me again. What am I missing? Dad, I am never going to get this. You're right. Stop saying that. Stop saying what? You're right. Okay. Now listen to me. Okay, I'm listening. Dad, listen. I'm listening. You said, Dad, listen. What else? Dad, listen. Are you going to repeat everything? Dad, listen. Are you going to repeat? Stop it. Stop it. You told me. Dad, really. Just repeat what I'm saying when I tell you, okay, repeat this part. Okay. Now you may say that's aggravating. You're bringing someone to anger. No. Listen to it. My daughter finally goes, okay, this part I want you to repeat. I am never going to get this right. Just not repeat what I just said, but just I'm never going to get it right. Just I'm never going to get it right. Now sometimes my little thoughts go in. I said, Jess, I'm never going to get this right. She goes, Dad, really? And I laugh, because sometimes when you get them to kind of relax a little bit, someone starts laughing, most of the time you'll start laughing too. And she looks at me and goes, Dad, really? Just being serious. I said, daughter, I'm being serious. Don't call me daughter. I said, what do you want me to call you? Okay, son, I'm real. Dad, really? I said, okay, Tamara. Okay. But I didn't call her Tamara then. She likes to be called Tamara today. Technically it's her name, but actually it's not even, I don't even know where Tamara even comes into. It's not actually her name, but I guess it's another form of Tammy, I guess, but unless her birth certificate, I don't know. Can't really say if that's on her birth certificate or not. Isn't that sad? Too many days back then working is what that was. I don't even really, to be honest with you, I don't even know if I even signed the birth certificate, to be honest with you. I don't remember. That's how lost I was back in those days. But anyways, she says, now, why are you saying what you're saying? I said, because you're absolutely right. You're never going to be able to do it. But that's really encouraging. Thank you for having support of me. I said, I am supporting you. If you want to talk nonsense, and I bet you some of you have probably caught it. If you're going to talk nonsense and put words in existence over your life, then that's exactly what you're going to do. Nothing I can do can change it. You said it how many times? I'm never going to get this. I'm never going to be able to do this. I'm never. Once you put I never, I can't, I won't, I'm useless, I'm worthless, then you just put the stop sign in the brick wall, do not enter, over your own life. There's nothing I can do. I'm not here to convince you. I'm here to teach you. Well, you say it like that, Dad. I said, why didn't you tell me in the beginning? I said I did. You got mad at me. Why are you mad at me? Why aren't you mad at me now? Well, because it makes sense now. Well, it would have made sense then if you would have listened. The problem is, you're so worked up. I said, what is it that you're stuck on? Well, you grounded me for my phone. You're right. That you're stuck on that? Well, I can't look this up. What? Who's the 5th president, Dad? I said, you're freaking out over the 5th president of the United States? You're talking about the very first 5 presidents. Well, Dad, what else? I said, I could be a president of Google for all I know. You kids come home with some crazy homework that it would take a professor probably an hour to figure out. What are you even teaching? And I said, well, what does this have to do with? And she goes, really? It has to do with math. And I was like, really? Your math teacher teaches you history? Dad, it's history. Why wouldn't my math teacher? I said, so you're false leading me to believe that your math? No. I said, yes. If you talk like that and you're being serious, I'm believing, because I was about to call your math teacher and go, why are you teaching history and not math? It's the math teacher, it's a history teacher teaching math, and you guys need to switch classes. And she knew I would, because I've actually told a teacher this before. I'm curious. You don't need to be teaching nothing. Whatever you went to school to learn yourself, that's what you need to teach. If you're a kindergarten teacher, then you teach a little bit of everything. First grade, pretty much everything. I don't even know what grade they start branching off, to be honest with you. You start switching classes. I think I did in the end of 7th grade in North Canton. We branched off to different classes. So confused. I had no idea where I was going. But anyways, I have no idea where I'm going most of the days. Thank God Jesus is in the pathway and leading me, and with those flaggers and, you know, how they land the airplanes. Never mind, because now we're all focused on airplanes. So I said, you're stuck on the 5th president. I said, do you pay attention to school? She goes, Dad, like, you really know the presidents. I don't know all of them. It's been a long time, but the 5th president, yes. Really, Dad? You didn't even go to school that long. Well, thanks a lot. Now you're hurting my feelings. Are you serious? Yes, I'm being very serious. Some things you may not know, some things I know. Some things come easy for people, some things don't. I look at life, and I've learned the streets, smarts, and I work hard so you can have the book smart, so you don't have to learn the street smart. Dad, I'm almost done with this. I got like 3 questions left. All right, well, go do the other 2 questions. Figure out the 3rd one, and we'll come back to this one. She goes, what are you going to do, look it up? I said, no, just sit right there. No, I just want to show you something. Okay. As a matter of fact, I'm going to set my phone right here so you don't think I'm looking up anything. Okay. So she gets through the questions. She comes back to it. All right, Dad, who's the 5th president? I said, all right. Are you ready? She said, yes. George Washington, John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, James Monroe, John Quincy Adams, Andrew Jackson, Martin Van Buren, William Henry Harrison. Would you like me to go on? How? I don't know. I just know that I know stuff. But there you go. There's your answer. Now, I'm not bragging on myself or boasting on myself. I'm just saying. Some of you might go back and go, now, what am I doing right here? I'm giving glory to God. Because how many of you probably would sit there and ever think that I could ramble on presidents like that? Glory be to God right there. There's something that you're looking at, God's presence into things. This is how easy it is that we can look for God's presence in the Lord presence in us. You just gotta listen, people. You just gotta watch for it, and you're gonna be amazed. And the more you're starting to be amazed by what Jesus does every day in our lives, and the blessings some people are in your life. I always told my kids, never not take a chance in life. Well, what if it's no, Dad, or what if it doesn't work? What if it fails? You'll never know unless you fail. It's when you fail and how you get back up is what matters. You may fail again. When I was married to your mother, I lost the business. Did I stop? No, I did it again. Did I struggle with it? Yes. Did I shut it back down? Yes. Did I start it back up? Yes. Is it today where I want it to be, where it was? No. But I never quit. The devil tries to rob stuff. I don't quit. You learn by who Jesus puts in your life. You learn from whoever the devil puts in your life. But if we're not out here looking for miracles, we're not out here laying hands on people to heal them, you're never going to build your faith. It may not happen in front of you. It may not happen at that particular moment. Doesn't mean you didn't have faith. It may be the person you're praying over doesn't have faith. But most likely, someone's in a lot of pain and they want healed, or they got cancer, they got some kind of disease that may kill their life. Oh, they're going to have all kinds of faith. But maybe God needs something to happen a little bit more before He heals them. Just saying. Really think about it. You can't allow you have faith enough to pray over someone and cast out sicknesses, demons, whatever it is. You have confidence enough to pray over someone for them to receive a job. I don't have no problems when somebody comes up to me and says, will you pray that I get this job? Yes, I will. Do you want me to pray how you want me to pray, or you want me to pray how I pray? What does that mean? Well, let me pray the way that I'm going to pray, and then you think about it. Because if it's not the way that I'm going to pray over you, I will stand with you, and I will be in agreement on the part that I agree on. Otherwise, I'm not going to agree with it. And that makes a lot of no sense. I was like, well, it does make a lot of no sense, but it's nonsense if you pray for the things that is no good for you. You may pray for a brand new car. You may pray for events. You may pray for whatever. But if it's not God's time, it's not God's will, then you're never going to appreciate it. Or it may be something that's going to burden you down and put you in further into sin. Now, why in the world would you ever want to do that? So I pray. Father, we bring and lift this concern up to you. If it is in your will and your plan for this person, let this be done. But let us all come back and reunited to glorify you for what you have done for this person. Lord Jesus, I pray your leadership over this in the guidance of when and how, if this is in the Father's plan for this person, to lead accordingly for this to be done. Now, you just see how the chain of events, and then you wait. And I always tell people, please be in touch. Please keep in touch. Let me know what happens with this. Because sometimes I mark down stuff and put the dates and stuff next to it. How long did it take God to answer this prayer? So, we have to be looking. We have to be watching for the Lord to do what He's going to do. And then we do a testimony on it. This is when God healed me. This is what He did in this particular event. This is what was going on in this. You know, we just continue to keep looking at what's going on, but we never really look at the planning of it. Hold on a minute, I'm reading this. Wow. Oh, you gotta love dispatch. Give me 1 second, guys. I don't mean to stop like this, but if I don't do this, they just keep sending me a gazillion messages on it. You have not accepted this shit. I know, because I'm driving. Alright. So, there's been a lot of talk about the rapture. There's been a lot of talk about going home. People prophesying this, people prophesying that. You know, all I can tell you is, when I looked at was the book of Isaiah, the book of Daniel, book of Ezekiel, Genesis, Revelation, Matthew. These are all good books. And it speaks of the rapture. It speaks of the return. It speaks of how we're going to be lifted up. There's 1 Corinthians. There's a part in there. You can go in here and you can determine chains of events. Things got to happen. Just like it speaks about the 7 things the Antichrist will do. And that's how we will know the Antichrist. But again, my belief is we're not going to really know the Antichrist because it'll happen after the people are taking up. Now, there is a scripture in there where it goes that it talks of a lift up of people, and then it talks about the trumpet being sounded and all that. I mean, you go back and forth with so much of this. The best way that I don't go cuckoo for this stuff is this. I make today count. I examine myself and I write anything that I find down on paper. Then I bring it to the Lord. Lord, these are the things I found today. I do it in the morning and at night. These are the things I found today. Is there anything that I'm missing? These are the things I want to repent from, but I also want you to give me strength and courage to stop doing these things if I found anything. Most likely, depending on the day, I have found something. Most of the days I've noticed, and I write down comments on it going, what made this particular day like this? Tired, wore out from the road. What was it, raining all day? I'd mark that. Was it a sunny day? What was about the temperature? And then I start looking back and go, well, no wonder why the devil got into place. The devil got into place because of all these chains of events. A couple times I was hungry, so I'm irritable. And I'm talking like a bear irritable. You know, sometimes I like to tell Darlene going, I'm just extremely hungry. You know, and sometimes she'll go, oh, okay. And I'm hoping she's catching that I'm just extremely irritable and I might not sound the way I should, but doesn't make an excuse, but it happens. It's not right. Yeah, we shouldn't snap at anybody. And if I go back and think about it, have I done anything today that upset at you or anything? What is stopping us from even asking that? What's stopping us when we have to discipline our kids, but to go back in there and go and sit with them? I love you. I wish you wouldn't do this stuff. You know, a person that steals over and over and over, eventually they know they're going to get caught and they're going to go to jail. You're just asking a judge to put you in jail. Why don't you just walk up to the judge and say, Judge, I'm a thief. You might as well just go and put me in jail now before I do something really stupid to wreck my whole the rest of my life. The judge will probably look at you like you're crazy. Well, sometimes as an adult and we have children, we have to be the parent before we are their friend. Now, I tried to do the best as I possibly could. Some of my kids said that I was very hard on them. Yeah. But when you were under my care, you didn't do all the stupid stuff you're doing now. You went to school, my youngest daughter, straight F's. I had to go to court. I got a letter certified sent to my work. And granted, I had no idea she was missing this many days of school. Which makes sense why my ex-wife willingly put custody over to me. I was like, that's a little odd, but again, she wanted to have an abortion, which told me one thing. She knew at this particular time, I'm like, well, we're not doing anything, so how is this? And I'm thinking in my head, how is this my child? So let's start adding the math up. So naturally, she wanted an abortion. She goes down. I said, I want no part of this. I'm not doing this. I'm going to work. You're really going to let me do this by myself? Have your aunt, have your mom, have your sister, have whoever take you. I don't care. I don't want no part of this. Nothing I say you're going to listen to anyway, so it doesn't really matter. You're going to do whatever you're going to do. So go do what you want to do. She goes there. They do the ultrasound. Nothing. She's showing them the pictures from the hospital. Nothing. We can't do it. We can't do this if we see nothing. She comes home. Well, long story short, my daughter's still here. So you may say, well, clearly maybe she just didn't want it from the beginning. That's what I always told myself. Don't know. Never asked. Never asked for a test on any of them. Didn't really care. I didn't treat her kids different than mine. I loved them as same as mine. Her oldest boy became a total nightmare. And today he's like, he'll talk to me if he sees me, but other than that, I hear once in a while he say some good things about me, but he holds what he holds, but he doesn't hold what he's done. That's okay. I got big shoulders, I can take it. You go into life passing judgment on someone else for your mistakes and your ways that you have done stuff. You have nobody to blame but yourself. If you're not willing to look at the mistakes and what you have done in life. Just how it is, people. So, to live in the rapture, I'm giving you a lot of ways of looking at the rapture right now. You know, again, I'm just using it for an example because it's the most recent thing on a lot of people's mind. 15th coming on. Clearly, I'm not the only one that heard we were being raptured. It went from the 5th to the 6th to the 15th. And then it got changed. Jesus is coming, but it's not on the 15th. I mean, the rapture's not going to take place now on the 15th. But what's he coming to do? Like I said in the other videos. No answer. And explain to me if I said, hey, tomorrow we're all going to take this big giant ferry ride and you have to be here at this particular time. If you're not, you're going to get left here. Okay. So you show up, you're a couple minutes late. Let's just say seconds. You're about 15 seconds late, they already pulled the ropes, and it's starting to go off, and you know they got time to really stop. Or maybe they don't. But it's a ferry, for crying out loud. I mean, the thing doesn't take off very fast. Still, would they be able to stop? I doubt it. If they did, they would have to probably throw it in reverse and go through all that again. Yeah, they may not. You think when the rapture comes, if you're not ready, you're going to go and repent and say, hold on a second? It doesn't work that way. So maybe is why we don't know the day and hour. Makes total sense, because then you'll do just like everybody else. You will live a fleshly life, and then you will even go 4 minutes before the time comes. At 1 o'clock p.m., boom. You will go, some would go, well, I want to make sure I'm going to start at 11:50. And I'm going to spend 10 minutes repenting of everything and any unseen things, everything. And I'm even going to repent that I stepped on an ant today. That's how much repentance I'm going to do. My repentance is better than yours. Oh, yeah? Well, my repentance is better than yours. Because remember that time when I let that balloon go and it probably maybe damaged the sun in the ozone layer? Yeah, well, I'm repenting for that. Oh, yeah? Can you imagine? I got a feeling, I really visualize stuff like this. Like, would this be how it ended up being? Don't know. I just know it's kind of bizarre all the way around. So, where are we at in life? How many of you really sat back this morning and thought about all this and said, I'm glad it didn't happen? How many of you sit back right now and go, question, I don't know if I am ready for the rapture. I have doubts. Most likely, if you can say that, you're not ready. Because you're walking in flesh and in God's realm. Well, you can't serve two masters. I'm sorry. Sorry to tell you, it can't happen. It's never going to happen. Give it up. You better let one of them go. Because most likely, I'm telling you, you might as well push God out. Because if you're living a fleshly life, you're done anyways. You're still going to stay. Will the earth turn dark? These 3 days of darkness? I was just asked that. I don't know, people. I try not to even think about that. Some say God, we're not going to have lights on. Some people say that God's people are going to have their lights still working. It's too exhausting. Can't anybody just get along and come up with the same stories before we start butchering the cow and it starts going bah? You guys are supposed to be butchering a cow. Yeah, we are. No, that's a sheep. No, that's a cow. Are you serious right now? Yeah, it's a cow. No, it's a sheep. You can go back and forth with the butcher. Who do you think's going to know before you will? Just because you call it a cow don't mean it's a cow. How many of you are raising your hand right now to this one? Please just stop talking. I'm joking. Although you may be. But everything I bring you is out of love. Everything I bring you is out of things that I think about. Like Darlene said the other day, I actually like it. I actually like it. It was funny, but I still like it. When she said, Nelson's World, welcome to Nelson's World. Welcome. Come on, sit down. I'm not even going to charge you for this flight. Welcome to Nelson's World Flight 101. Destination, heaven. Some of you may be issued a parachute on the way. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Flight attendant, yes. Why are stewardess, what do they call them now? Stewardess, either way, it's not important. I think it's stewardess now because flight attendant is not the proper thing because we have this and that. Either way. Okay, stewardess. Why is some of us going to be handed parachutes? What do you mean? You know why. It's not time for you to go to heaven yet because you haven't done the right things. So you brought me all the way up here in the sky. Why didn't you just let me out before we took off? Because God wanted to get your attention. Well, He's got it. Can we not just drop everybody off and when you come back to Earth, just bring me back? No. All right, now snacks will be served for all of you. Some of you, it may be your last meal here on Earth. Some of you may enjoy this because you may not get snacks again unless you take the chip. So the airplane's up in the air and all of a sudden doors opening up and they got this area where you just go in and then they open the door back up. Just picture all digital people. They got the hooks on there and a plexiglass box and all this stuff. Then they reseal it. And as you're standing there, you're next in line and you can't hear what they're saying. They already put the parachute on you. You get in there and the stewardess says to you, by the way, since you served the devil so well, the devil said he was going to pack your parachute as the door opened and they push you out. Now, what's the last thing you're going to be thinking about when you're falling? I am done for. I'm trying not to laugh, but can you imagine? How many of you are sitting there right now going, this is horrible? The devil that's the last thing I'm going to remember. The devil, and you reach up to pull the cord and you're afraid. As you're falling, you're afraid and you're getting your notice and there's this balloon, not the China balloon, I'm just saying there's a balloon where you know you have to pull it there. If anything beyond that, it's not going to work. You are going to hit the ground as hard as you possibly can hit the ground. Some of you are freaking out so bad by what was said, you hit the ground. You wake up, Lucifer's standing there with a welcome sign and a neon arrow pointing to hell where the demons are sitting there clapping their hands and sharpening their claws on a sharpening stone. And you're going, why? And then the devil walks over and pulls the cord and the parachute comes out. Because you were so focused on what was said and not how to stop the event. How many times you've been in an event in life, instead of calling on Jesus, you thought you were going to do it yourself? Well, how many times you got to hit the ground before you go, I've had enough hitting this ground? Just saying. Just saying, you know? You feeling me? That used to drive me crazy when people would say that. No, I'm not feeling you. I'm standing right here. Does it look like I got my hands on you feeling you? No. And then I start thinking in my head, are they really truly feeling somebody feeling them? Is that why they're saying that? Because if so, then there's a demonic thing and I need to ask for the check, please, and get far, far away from this. Careful what you say. People like me might have crazy ideas and thinking on things. Well, is it saying crazy, put negative? No, it's just the way I talk. That's it. I don't ask people into Nelson's world. If you want to come into this world, I accept you, but you got to accept me for who I am. I told you from the beginning. Pronunciation. See, you're right there. It's there. It's in my head. I can see the word. Sometimes it don't come out. But I'm okay with that. It's okay to laugh at it too, because I laugh at it sometimes. It's almost like you'll laugh at this. I know you will, because it's true. It is okay to laugh at this. I'm just saying. If you do laugh, don't feel bad. You don't owe me an apology. You never owe me an apology unless you come up and kick me or something. Unless you come up and took my sucker. A cherry one. A little round, little swirly white thing in it. And then you grab it out of my mouth and stick it on some ants. And then hand it back to me and laugh at me. That actually happened. So you know what I did? I went over to ran in the house, turned on the hot water, and rinsed all the ants off, and got soap and scrubbed it on there, rinsed that off, and put it back in my mouth. They thought I literally was eating ants. Nobody messed with me again with my suckers. I didn't say nothing. They never asked me. They just said, "Ooh, that's gross." Not really, I washed it. But you see, sometimes you don't have to say anything and people will just leave you alone. Because of how you act. Like I testified in that one. I finally stood up to them bullies. Whenever they seen, they didn't want no more part of that. It's how we move through life. Anyways, boomerang, here it comes. I literally, it feels like they're blocks. Little tiny little word blocks. And I'm pulling them out of my mouth, like I feel it like on my tongue. And I go, I can picture it. Sometimes the words will not come. Darlene has tried to get me to say words, and by the third or fourth time, I'm usually pretty done trying to even pronounce it. And then anything after that, I start getting a little aggravated. And it's most likely not going to happen. Some words I'll avoid all the way around. Like there's things when I start writing messages to people, replying to stuff, a word will come to my mind and I go, how do you spell this? Well, the smartphone isn't very smart because it spells what I spell and it becomes a dumb phone. So I just made my smartphone a dumb phone. Now my smartphone is mad at me. It calls me up and says, listen, stop putting words in my mouth that is not right. Oh my gosh. I need some time off. Is it vacation time yet? You know, I'm taking my vacation in the summer. And I'm going out to the desert. And I'm just going to build a fire. When Smokey the Bear comes up, I'm just going to look at him and be like, not today, Smokey. Go on down the road. You see this fire extinguisher? I'm covered. Hit it. Or you see that big pot over there? Yeah. What's it for? Bear stew. Well, Smokey then grabs his little shovel and turns around and starts walking away. Because he had, when he looks at you and he knows you got that weird look in your face, and then there's a chainsaw and can you imagine them making a cartoon of that? Only you can prevent forest fires, and you're sitting there with the chainsaw in your hand in the pot, licking your lips going, only you can become bear stew. Yeah, this is why I tell you not to let your kids watch these videos. Mom, who is Smokey the Bear? Google him. Why does he want to put Smokey the Bear in a pot? I don't know. It's just the way he talks. We just go along with some of it and go, what does this have to do with anything? I don't know. It just makes a heck of a conversation, doesn't it? It's not overloading your brain. It lets you expand out into different thoughts. It's okay to have different thoughts. It's okay to not to have the same thoughts as everybody else. It's okay. If you can listen to my rambling on thoughts, I'm sure your thoughts are not no more bizarre than mine. But you see how the Bible comes into it? You see how everyday life comes into it? You see how the struggles of things that we go through comes into it? It just gives you a different way to look at things. It gives you an opportunity to fix it. Not to be embarrassed.
In 3/4 of a mile, take exit 200 on the right.
Heart of life. What we do. Anyways, let me pray. Our Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this day, and we thank you for all that you have provided. We thank you for being here on this earth, examining this earth. Father, we just ask that you continue to lead us and guide us and mold and sculpt us. We thank you for giving us this pathway that we are on today, that you have created us for. We thank you have chosen us to be here on the earth to do your will. And to do your will is to pick up our cross and to continue on where Jesus left off. To do your will is to be with you, be in prayer with you, do the good works, and lift it all up to you so you get the praise and the glory for everything that we receive, nothing for ourselves. I ask, Lord, for your guidance, your leadership. I ask for your blood be over us in the rest of this day or morning, if whoever's watching this. Lord, what in the world is this word? No, I'm not praying that. Lord, I also have still some prayer requests. First of all, for one person, her house to sell, her oldest daughter. I still have not got anything on that. She was going down some dark ways. Lord, I ask for them strongholds to be broken. I ask for them people to be removed from her life permanently, that she walks away from those things. I ask for the sight to be open and for her to come out of that lifestyle before she gets trapped too far into life, into the wrong direction. Lord, I also lift up anybody else's children that are having suicidal thoughts. I lift up Wednesdays, the conversations and stuff with a particular woman and her son. I lift both of them up to you. I lift up any thoughts of the devil be removed from them. Any temptations of anybody that's having suicidal thoughts, thoughts of I'm not worthy, thoughts that I'm not good enough, thoughts that I'm not pretty enough, thoughts that I'm not handsome enough. I can go down the list, Lord. You know them, and these are the ones that I'm praying for. I pray for these bullies to stop picking on your people. I pray for them, they start rising up. I pray people start paying attention to these bullies, and they rise up and come behind these people that are being bullied and look them in the eyes and say, now, leave them alone. It's time to put an end to this. We are the voice. We are the ones in the wilderness screaming out. Lord, I pray for financial blessings. I pray for your will to be done in their lives, that they accept you into their lives if they do not know you. I pray that you look over your sheep and give us the area that we need to go and hook that sheep back for you. I'm thankful that you use my tongue to be able to do what we're doing today. And people are actually understanding it and actually coming back. Lord, I say extra prayers over them and extra blessings. It's a joke. But I do lift you up in prayer too. Whether people comment, whether people hopefully not upset about the comments, and I haven't got back to them yet. I did reply to a few last night, and awesome. I'm thankful for these people, Lord. I'm thankful for their kind words, and I'm thankful even for the ones that come against me negative. It just makes me stronger. It makes me want to fight the devil even harder. It makes me want to continue on. Lord, bless them. Keep them safe today. I ask for food to be on their table. I ask for the spiritual awakening in people's lives. Most of all, Lord, I just ask for your leadership in this day. Let us seek it, let us be in it, and let us continue on that pathway home. Give us the wisdom and the knowledge in this day. Lord, I got a brother trucker out there. Well, actually a few of them on there. But one in particular, I asked for his health issues to be taken, thrown away, burned, have no more hold over him. And he is safe on the road, and he can return to his family. I ask for my other brothers and sisters out there that send me messages. God bless you. Be safe out there. Never let the road get you, but always run mile by mile. The same as we walk with the Lord, mile by mile. God bless you guys. I love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of this journey. And thank you for continuing on and helping spread the word of Jesus Christ. May you be blessed in your walk today, and may you be found when the time comes. Till the next one, guys. Love you.